Gate 14 podcast. It's the last Gate 14 podcast you hear from the 2023 season. Hey, what's going on with your camera, bro? Why are you all fucking blurry?
Oh, it just didn't. I don't know why I did that.
Okay. Yeah, you're good now. You're good now. Focus. That's kind of ideally what happened this Blue Jays season. How you feeling, man? I'm depressed, bro. I really am. It's over.
I'm not there yet. I know tomorrow when we have nothing to do, or like Saturday when nothing's going on, it's gonna be like, oh, like a piece is kind of missing of me now, right? Nothing to stream, nothing to watch, nothing to get excited about. You have to wait till next year, man.
Yeah, like, and you and I are obviously fans of other teams. Like, I'm a University of Michigan fan, but our fandom for them, and like obviously you're a Leaf fan,
you can't be as big of fans as we are of multiple. It's
not sustainable.
It's not healthy. It's not fucking healthy, dude. And I was like I was a big football fan while I was at school and I was with people there.
Yeah.
I've kind of like stopped like watching as much football as I have. It's the Toronto Blue Jays. That's the only team I'll say like I'm like a huge fan of. So there'll be things to tide us over for a little bit, but it won't feel the same.
Yeah, it's and I'll say this, and I guess we could technically go into it, and then on Sunday we'll break down the season, and then talk about the award show we have to fucking plan now, which is gonna take a little while, but we work together, so I'm sure we can kind of just fire off the hip if something comes to our mind. But I'll say it, this is way worse than 2022. This loss was way worse.
It's less embarrassing.
Yes.
Way more disappointing.
Is it less embarrassing though? Like
no, 8-1 was pretty fucking embarrassing.
Yeah,
man.
Sure, but at least right? At least in that 8-1 blown lead, we had the highest of highs. We had home runs. We had runners in score position being scored. We scored 8 fucking runs. It was kind of just dead from inning 1 of game 1. Obviously, Gausman gives up 2 to inning 9 of game number 2. Like, and maybe the chat can decide this and people can tweet at us, but this was way worse, in my opinion, of just enjoyment factor, because at least we got to have this fake sense of doubt when they were up 8-1, like, oh, holy shit, all right, let's go, you know?
Yeah, I'm watching Sportsnet right now, and they're in the clubhouse, just guys hugging each other after the season's over. It's none of this is fun to watch, man. We had scored 0 runs today, and a do or die game for the season. I feel stupid for thinking that we would be the team, the Mickey Mouse run.
We really talked ourselves into that about 4 days ago.
We are fucking dumb.
We're dumb. We are so
pitching staff fucking pitch their balls off again. And
we wait. It's
averaging half a run a game.
This is what I'm scared for, Avery. In a couple years down the road, we're going to look back on this club and say we had the greatest pitching staff the Blue Jays have ever had, and we wasted it. And just like we did with 2021. You know what I'm saying, Avery? That's what I'm scared about.
Yeah, felt like we had some career years for guys. Surely some of them will regress next year, and some will pitch better. Hopefully they all don't regress, or else we're going to be in for a real shitstorm. But I'm there with you. We're looking back at 2021 as the best offense we've ever had. Didn't make the playoffs. We're going to look at 2023, best pitching staff we've ever had. Couldn't win a playoff game. Didn't
even have a pulse in a playoff game. I mean, I guess let's go into it today. I mean, obviously we'll break down today's game, and then Sunday we'll go over a little bit of the season recap. But today's game was the weirdest game I've ever watched, I want to say. Barrios is shoving, and I have never seen an entire plethora, credit to me, big word, of Blue Jays fans all agree on a decision being so fucking dumb. And again, John Schneider last year fucks it up, right? The pulling of Gausman early. This year, he pulls Barrios early. Where are you at with this, Avery? Right? Like, Like
So
obviously looking,
let's
but he was shoving. That's what makes it worse. That's what makes it hurt.
That's where I'm at. So this is not as much as I blame John Schneider. I told him not to get on the plane. It wasn't his move, obviously. This was a pre-thought out move where the second time through the order, right? They were gonna. It was second time, not third time, right? Yeah. Second time through the order, when the lefties came up again, they were going to go to Kikuchi. And if he doesn't walk Royce Lewis, do I think this is different? And maybe no, because I saw Kikuchi put the fucking pitch comm in his hat before the inning even started. So
yes,
maybe I don't know if Barrios knew before the game that was going to happen, because maybe he pitches it differently if he knows based or against if he doesn't know. But the analytics were the reason that happened. But it felt like we haven't made an analytically driven decision this whole fucking season. So now, when it's more important, we make an analytically driven decision where, one, I think we should have made a baseball decision. So that's where I'm off about it.
Great point. That's a great point, Avery. It just it left a weird taste in my stomach. And obviously we haven't played to the levels that these guys have played. Like, we're not professional baseball players, obviously.
But can I say one thing here, Johnny?
Yeah.
I've been in tons of dugouts in my life.
That's what I was about to say. Yes.
A ton of them, right?
Yeah.
I still am part of 2 of the teams I do this year. Never at this fucking level. You have a guy shoving it down your throat and he comes out of the game. You could have a better player coming in. There's a very good chance that dugout on the other side is fucking fired up as to what's happening. They're laughing at the decision that's being made, and they just get a whole new energy that they didn't have when they were getting it shoved down their throats.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at the baseball decision.
Yes.
Like, you can deflate so easily, get so quiet in that park when he's shoving, and it's like, oh, what the fuck is this manager doing? He's taking him out of the game. We got a little bit of juice now, and that's the only inning they score in, right? It's not Kikuchi's fault what happened. Kevin Biggio would have been an extraordinary play, but I think he should have gotten 1 out there. And then what was it? The walk or single walk and then double play. I think they could have been out of it if Kevin makes one of those plays. So, or out of it with 1 run. I think for that reason,
wouldn't have mattered. They would have lost 1-0.
100%. Like, none of this matters. And I want to be able to get mad at it. I want to be able to call for change because I think it's John Schneider's fault. It's not John Schneider's fault. Someone else made that decision. Based on how it was going, I fucking hated that decision. But I hate that it makes sense, but it kind of made some sense. But I think where I'm at, if Barrios is shoving, you know what Barrios is doing today. That's his stuff today. Kikuchi, a guy who hasn't been in the bullpen since this time last year, you have no idea what he's going to be. And his command is an A+. We know what Kikuchi is, right? He could have a bigger blow up, I think, in that situation coming in that spot than what Barrios could have done the rest of that inning. He got 2 runs, double play, ended up getting out of it with the only 2 runs we were to give up in the whole game. But again, I'm out on it.
And another thing that I wanted to talk about with that, which is, I guess, technically kind of goes in hand with what you're saying, is being in that Blue Jays dugout, though, right? I mean, your pitcher is pitching his dick to the bone. He's shoving. And your manager takes him out. I think there's a part in that game when Bo walks over to Vladdy at the end of the dugout. I think we talked about this on stream where Bo's like, they're taking Barrios out. Like, I don't know if that's what they said, but I remember Vladdy looking at him saying, why? I could be wrong, but it doesn't matter. That's not the point. The point is, it is demoralizing for a team when you finally have a guy not chirping Gossman, but Barrios is shoving. He's pitching his, like I said, he's grinding. And you take him out wrongfully after he's went 3 scoreless with 5 strikeouts, and he looks unhittable. And you could, I don't know. It's just, sometimes you got to think with analytics, which I agree with a lot of the time. But sometimes you just got to think as a baseball manager, as just a baseball guy, and just be like, Barrios has it today. He doesn't matter about going through the lineup second time, third time. Let him cook until he gets in a problem. Then you bring in Kikuchi. Don't pull him for no reason, right? You know what I mean? It just, I don't know. It left a weird taste in my mouth as a fan. I couldn't imagine how it left the guys taste in the mouth. But what makes it really, really sick for me is a guy who gave you 200 innings this year, a guy who pitched, grinded for you down the stretch. Chris Bassett not being able to pitch a playoff game for the Toronto Blue Jays yet in his career. That's the part that really hurts for me, Avery. That's the part right there that really hurts for me. Chris Bassett not getting that opportunity.
Yeah, I think a lot of guys, and David Schneider not getting an at-bat in the playoffs, I think is dumb. Espinal came in, 2 hits, whatever, did his thing. But there's a lot. Season was a failure, just straight up. We didn't win a World Series, didn't win a playoff game. Would have been better to not even fucking be there, it feels like. There's going to be change. Ton of free agents. We're not going to see Belt back. We're not going to see Witt back. Probably not going to see Chatby back. I think we might have Kiermaier back. Try and sign Hicks. And then, Ryu's gone and some of the other guys. Chad Green may be gone. Still, man, there's going to be some turnover. This is a Glenn tweet that came out, and he talked about it in our group chat as well. Someone said that the Jays are probably closer to a rebuild than they are a World Series. And
wow, that hurts. That stings, but it's true.
Well, we can talk about it if it actually is.
You want to save that for Sunday? Let's keep this with just the pregame, the recap. The Sunday will be the full season recap, we'll call it. This is just the game 2. But I don't know. I'm looking at this team, Avery, and I don't know where we go from here. The pitching is going to stay the same, essentially, besides Jordan Hicks, out of the bullpen. I hope he comes back. It's the offense. We're going to have these guys, these young guys, step up. David Schneider not getting a crack today. I don't know. And especially yesterday when your team puts up a goose egg like that, why not put in the guy who is a home run hitter and has shown it at the big league level? I genuinely, and I'll take this to the grave, I genuinely think David Schneider would have shot on Sonny Gray's pitches. He would left so many hanging breaking balls, cock shot 93-mile-an-hour fastballs that got missed. I don't know, Avery. Maybe I'm just delusional. Maybe I'm crazy. But I truly do think that David Schneider shits on these pitches that's Sonny Gray was throwing. I do. And I'll take that to the fucking grave.
Yeah, the 3-2 curveball or slider, whatever it was, that he takes in the first inning. It's deflating. It's like, okay, we're going to do this again. We're going to have a tough time scoring runs. And we haven't even talked about the Vladdy play at second.
Oh, let's go into it.
Vladdy's crying here, it looks like.
Am so fucking tired of Vladdy. I'm sorry. And this might just be because it's just new. What are you doing, dude? What are you doing? It is second and third. Your best hitter is up. There is a runner in front of you. You are going nowhere. You're going nowhere. And you get backpicked in the fucking playoffs. I couldn't
the trail runner. You're not even the lead runner.
You're the fucking trail runner. You mean nothing. You mean nothing. You go wherever fucking Springer goes and you get backpicked. Insane. It's like this dude just learned how to play baseball. Like, you teach that to the Laurier kids. The university kids are learning this. Like, should know this, are expected to know this. And our generational guy who has been around the game of baseball forever is making these mental mistakes like this. It's crazy, Avery.
Yep, you're right. It's an unacceptable thing to happen in a playoff game when your mistakes are blown up, tightened. That can't be the mistake. I understand why you're trying to get a big lead. You're trying to score on a single. You're not a fast guy, but Carlos Correa sneaks back there. He's at the bag, Vladdy, for a second and a half, it almost seems like. And then Vladdy realizes Sonny Gray's got a good move. Picks him off. It is absolutely unacceptable. It's what they said was going to be different with all these old guys. They'll be able to teach these things and fix these things in the young guys, but they didn't do shit.
The guys that were supposed to sorry, Brandon Belt. 0 for infinity this series. This was a guy that we were saying was going to be, like that difference maker because he's been here. 0 for fucking infinity, Avery. Not one competitive at bat, Avery. He didn't have one competitive at bat this series. Not one.
You got that right, man. I don't know. It's the offense as a whole. Bobachek got 1 million hits, but what did we have? 14 hits or something like that between 2 games, and 13 of them were singles. 1 was a double. The one double immediately 2 strikeouts and a ground out as soon as the double happened. You can't win baseball games hitting singles in the big leagues as often, facing this good of pitching.
Like, let's look at the lineup here.
Guillermo's gone.
Oh, Guillermo's gone. He's gone. The AAA guy is getting called up.
Yeah.
But let's look at the lineup here. George Springer, 222. Brandon Belt, 0. 0 slug, 0 OBP, 0 average in the playoffs. Vladdy, 143. Bo, 500. Obviously, pass. Calvin Biggio, 125. Kirk, 333. Kiermaier, 400. Espinal, 1,000. Varsho, 0. Chappie, 143. The entire team, besides 2 players, had an average over 300. And I know it's a small sample size, but it is the fucking playoffs. Vladdy going, what did he go? 1 for 7 these playoffs. Vladdy. 1 for 7 is unacceptable. Vladdy in the playoffs, 1 for fucking 7, Avery. Like, I can't believe it, dude. I can't.
The Vladdy,
generational guy, 1 for 7, and is getting picked off at fucking second base, dude. Crazy.
He's going to have a hell of an offseason because 1, he doesn't play good defense anymore. 2, he doesn't hit great anymore. And 3, base runs like shit. If we said that about any other player, we talk about obviously not cutting them, but why would you want players like that anymore? It's going to be a big offseason for Vladdy as well to try and figure something out because he is better than what he played like. He's way better than that. And I think what's more disappointing is this Twins team is fucking bad. Obviously better than the Blue Jays. They scored 5 runs 2 games.
But being better than the Blue Jays isn't an accomplishment. I'll tell you that for fucking free.
Yeah.
It's not a compliment being better than the Blue Jays. This offense wasted some of the greatest pitching I've ever seen. You ask this pitching staff.
Barrios,
you put this pitching staff on any other team, they win the World Series with a competent offense. Literally, just a competent offense, Avery. That's it. Competent offense.
Yeah, I'm watching Barrios cry in his post-game presser here. Kind of tough to see. I don't know where I'm just disappointed. I'm ready for change. I'm ready for this to be over. I cannot be, I won't say selfishly, we can't be put through a season like that again. That offense fucking stunk.
But the Blue Jays beat writers tell me they were second with runner scoring position in baseball for the last 2 months, or 4th. Congrats. And I want to say this. I know obviously they're not going to listen to this, but for the fans, I want to hug Barrios and tell him this isn't on you. I want to hug Kikuchi, tell him this isn't on you. Gossman, this isn't on you. Everyone on that pitching staff, it could not be less on them than it is. It could not be less. This fucking offense, I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy, Avery. I wouldn't. But today was pretty much what this season was. Chapman, bases loaded, double play ball. Chopper, double play ball. Vladdy, unserious at-bats. Bobachek carrying. And then Brandon Belt going back to his May self. Terrible. And you have to think, a guy like Davis Schneider would have did better in this situation than Brandon Belt. I mean, Brandon Belt didn't get a hit. He didn't even get on base. Not once. Did not get on base, Brandon Belt, the entire series.
I don't know, man. You're saying great things. I can't disagree with you. It's a catastrophic loss. Nothing changed from the regular season team. And we kept telling ourselves it would.
And we thought it would.
We
kept being idiots.
when the lights got brighter, we thought this team could play better than they had all season. And that not exactly how that went.
Not even close.
But for me, I'll say it. Just thanks to everyone who watched our shit this year. It was a crazy year this year. I know it's only the second year we've done this, but made a big old leap here. All the guys who came on the show, all the guys that we got to hang out and talk to. Yeah, I had an awesome year.
Crazy year of my life, man. I said this in the video. I'll try to answer everyone's fucking. I mean, that tweet that I did has like almost 600 likes by the time I'm recording this, and I recorded that like 20 minutes ago. So obviously this is, like I said, it's been the craziest year of my life, man. It'll never, like I said, we always say this, Avery, it'll never not be weird people coming up to us for pictures, getting recognized everywhere we go. But yeah, it's just been absolutely insane. And it sucks that like this, man, because picture the content if we just got even a game 3. Picture the content if we got an ALDS. I couldn't imagine it.
And now the content if we got to the World Series.
Oh, I don't even want to think about that because I'll go into depression. But what makes it even worse, Avery, is we knew in the back of our minds this is how this series would end the entire time. We kept saying to each other at work, like, maybe it'll be different. It wasn't. It goddamn wasn't. Wasn't even close to being different. It couldn't actually be more alike than what it was all season. And they didn't even really have a stretch where we were like, in those runs they had 2015, 2016, where they went on these long winning streaks and they brought you in. This team didn't have a winning streak above 7 games or 6 games the entire season. The Royals did. The Athletics did. This team didn't. And the writing was in the sand the entire time. It sucks that's how it ended. We didn't even get to celebrate a run in the second game on stream. We didn't get to celebrate one goddamn run. Not one clip for the Gate 14 YouTube. Or Twitter. Not one. But absolutely wild, Avery. Absolutely fucking insane. If you could pick one positive from that game, I know it besides the pitching, like one player who all right, this guy kind of figured it out a little bit. Because for me, it was Santiago Espinal.
I was going to say Kirk.
Kirk is played well, pretty good at the plate. But Espinal turning on Duran, like, especially coming off the bench where he probably hasn't seen 101 in fucking months, right? Just crazy. Out of all the guys, Espinal showed up today.
Yeah.
Off the
bench.
Didn't
have that on your bingo card, did you?
Yeah, didn't have that on my bingo card, Doc.
But I didn't have Blue Jays dad showing up on my screen on my bingo card either.
Yeah, you knew that was going to happen with the tip jar. He got the tip jar. No family though there with him, so maybe he just used
the
all
tip
the money,
jar worked. He only got to use it for game 2 though.
Maybe he pocketed it. But yeah, it just I
don't want to. What was your favorite moment from this year?
I was going to save that for Sunday. Yeah, we're going to leave the people waiting more because I know this episode is going to do numbers. Listen to Sunday's episode for the full season recap. You'll get that. But I'll say this, Avery. Get Don Mattingly's stench as far away from this fucking ball club as possible. We were watching those highlights at work, Avery, of the fucking Clayton Kershaw blown 7-1 lead at Dodger Stadium, and Donnie Ems is on the bench just fucking watching it unfold against the Cardinals. Absolutely terrible, man. Yeah, there's going to be a massive turnaround of coaching staff. But don't worry, everyone. The Rogers Center is going to look a whole lot different next year. Don't you worry, folks.
I cannot wait to be so mad when they don't invite us to the opening of it.
Oh yeah, that'll be my personal hell. But that's fine. They can do that. They can do whatever they please. But
are we going to commit to the Trop at the start of next year?
I'll commit to the Trop. Yeah, we'll go there. Start. If your company out there wants sponsor, get in the content game with us. We're taking applications from you guys. But yeah, we'll end it with this. The season ended how it went the entire time. Me and Avery tried to do this little positive spin zone throughout the entire preview of the fucking playoffs. Who were we kidding? We knew exactly what was going to happen and who was going to show up. And it was the pitching staff and not the offense. Terrible series loss. I never want to experience a pain like this again in terms of not a series loss. I've experienced series losses. I never want to be experience a series loss where there's never a pulse the entire time. That's what I don't want to experience ever again. So hopefully they figure that out in the offseason. Not much to grab from or trade from, but maybe Mike Trout. But love you guys, man. I'll say what I want to say about Gate 14 Nation next episode when we get to do the season preview or season recap. But love you guys, man. We're on to the award show. We're on to Sunday's episode. Avery, any last words to Gate 14 Nation as I listen to this in their slumber?
No, I love you guys.
There you go.
We'll be right back.